Hello. Um, there are people out here that think that you're rich. You come off as a rich boy. You come off as like a snob, is what I want to say. You are a snob. You're coming off like that. Like maybe you have it together. For instance, my grandparents bought a house in Venice, California when it was like there was nothing there in the 40s. Um, and they bought it for like $25,000. It's worth like $3 million now. Okay. Um, and like, um, anyway, they came out to a really like small part. They wanted to get away from LA, so they came out here to like where I was raised, a really small part. My grandpa was construction, and he would go and look for jobs, and he went with one of his compadres to like a part. It's like one of his friends where they were doing construction, and they went out to Victorville, and there was like nothing there, right? There was nothing there. And then outside of Victorville, there's a little small town, like on the opposite side of the mountain, like where Big Bear is, like the opposite side, because one side is San Bernardino, the opposite side is Lucerne Valley, and you go down the mountain. And that's where we were raised. Bunch of white people, like 10 Mexican families, maybe like one black family, okay? Um, that's where I was raised. And they raised me, because my mom and my aunt were into like the gangs and stuff in LA, and they didn't want us to be raised around that shit. So they took us away from that. They didn't want me and my cousins to be bangers like them, like my aunt and my mom were. The other three, there's three other girls, and they were not like that. But my mom and my aunt got into all that shit. Anyway, so we went out there, and then I don't know. I was raised around like a different atmosphere. Like my grandparents raised me, and she was in out of jail until I was like 13, so I didn't really know her. Like she would come home for a little bit and then leave, and go back to her little dirty old crazy ways until she had two strikes, and then she became a born again Christian. So anyway, they raised me, and they raised me on freaking welfare. Like they had their own money, but they would get money for me because it was a child and my brother. But people come off like, and now they look at me like I'm rich. Like I'm fine. Like you don't need a lot of money to be happy. Like I come from nothing, so a lot of it, like you don't have to necessarily, like, just to have a home and a place to live and an income and food. Like to that is enough. You don't need a lot to feel like you have it. Like if I had more, I'd be happy, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like I can manifest what I want. Like depression, moving on, losing control, depression, cycles closing. Like I went through a lot of shit in my whole life, like, but now I'm fine. Like thank God, you know what I mean? I went through all of that. It was a journey. It was a cycle. I had to go through it. But I had I'm hearing that song by Linkin Park. I had to lose it all. What is that? The lyrics? I had to lose it all. In the end, it was in the end. I had to lose it all. Something I don't remember. Hold on a second. Okay, the lyrics say, and I honestly like I don't think I've ever heard like the whole. I've never read the lyrics before now, but it says something about a pendulum, and that's funny because maybe you use those, or maybe you use tarot. Like I'm trusting my guidance, my inner knowing now that I like have been through so much shit. Like there was this one guy that was like would like leech onto my family, like it was trying to do things to us, blocking my intuition. I had my spiritual awakening when me and my twin flames split up. And but anyway, um, I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep in mind, I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. It's almost like, okay, that's what I was feeling. Like maybe you have to remind yourself what it is that you have been through to re-jog your memory, to get creatively what it is that you have been through. Like when you get stuck in mental illness and things, I have mental illness, so like when I lost family members, I went through a lot and I kind of lost myself, so I had to like remind myself, maybe you should be journaling, maybe you should be making little cues for yourself so that you don't get lost again when you remember like how well you have it now, just to learn from your past, to learn from our lineage, to learn from our ancestors. You don't, like looking back, 555, you look back on what it is that you've been through to progress forward. In the end, I had to lose it all. I'm surprised I got this far. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Now that you know me back then, not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. Like, it doesn't even matter, you just keep going, but you remind yourself where you've been so that you can appreciate what it is that you have. Okay, Spirit, what does the collective need to know? But yeah, the people look at you like you're rich. Well, you know where I came from? Do you know where you came from? Do they know where they came from? Yeah, they're being crazy. Like, they're not thinking clearly. They're not thinking clearly. They're struggling to walk away from things that they don't know how to cut off. They don't know how, they're thinking wrong. Their intellect is not aligned. They're thinking crazy. They're emotional, they're intellectually, like, one thing leads to something else and something else and something else, and then they take it out on you because you're grounded and you're abundant. And they need a new perspective because they're stuck in that and they don't know how to get there. And it stresses them out, it triggers them. So they look at you like you're doing so well. How did you get that? How do I get that? And it stresses them out. And they want to move on, and it's almost like they want to learn. And they're alone by themselves trying to like figure out what it is that you do or what it is that you did. You're in good karma. You closed out good cycles. You don't get there overnight. Like, you're delaying grounding yourself maybe, or they are. But they look at you like you're rich. I don't have to be rich to be happy. If I was, I'd be happier, but when you get all that money, all you do is worry about where it is and what's going on and how can you get more, and you don't want to go broke, and you buy all kinds of stupid shit that you don't fucking need, and then you're like, why the fuck did I spend it on that? I remember this one time, gambling is no bueno. It's a waste of money. Spent a lot of money gambling. And that was just like, oh my god, what did I do that for? Cutting ties, antisocial. Like, being alone, being at that point, even when you're broke, even when you're nothing, when you don't have anything, you learn who is on your side and who doesn't give a fuck about you. And honestly, you go through all these horrible things. Okay, I'm reminded, sometimes you have to go through something horrible in your life to be the person that you're supposed to be, or you have to go through something horrible in order to become who you're supposed to be. In order to love yourself, you have to go through all that shit. Masked and blocked. Moving on, nothing to say. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares when you're down. But when you're up, they're like, oh my god, what did you do? Work on it.